everybody, I'm Joey.
And I'm Alex.
And today we are reviewing a museum. You about to pick it up?
I was getting ready.
Yeah, this is the big build-up. It's like,
Okay, all right.
What are they reviewing?
Yeah.
We have no idea. We just randomly clicked on this video.
We just...
What could it be?
I know, right? Here we are.
Frostheld Museum Pictura.
Yay!
They were right. They were like, what? And it's like left turn.
Crazy.
M. Night Shyamalan type of twist.
Museum Pictura. It's going to be a good review today.
Yes. So Museum, for you that haven't played Museum is a game about a
museum.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise, right?
But it's also got a lot of expansions, a lot of all that, and I love the game Museum.
Yeah.
You know,
it's fantastic.
We have the big box that we will probably review here on the channel later, but this one, initially, I wasn't crazy about.
Yeah, I'm not a huge art person, so this didn't initially grab me for that reason, you know?
Well, it wasn't the art so much I wasn't crazy about with this one. It was because I like Museum, and a lot of times when someone comes out with another game and they either do a standalone, they simplify it, I'm like, well, why would you take away the rules? I like that game. I don't want to play a dumbed down version of it.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? I like Museum enough to give Pictura a try.
Yeah.
To see what exactly they did different and how it plays. So, speaking of how it plays.
Let's see.
How it plays.
I like how we did that.
Good transition. Okay, we are set up now for Museum Pictura. And this is set up for a two-player game. The second player is off camera just so I can kind of get more going on for you to see it. Now again, this is just a quick overview. This is not a full rules explanation, but I just want to kind of give you guys an idea of how the game is played. The game is a set collection game. This is the manual right here. It's actually fairly straightforward, but the whole thing is it's going to go person to person, and you're going to go up until somebody scores 50. They have 50 victory points. Then at that point, they're going to take this. They get 5 more points, and all the other players get 1 more turn. You have got these nice little player aids, and I do love the simple things about having player aids. Everybody is going to have one of these that tells you exactly what happens on the turn. All right, and then, like I said, it is set collection. Now, the way you collect your sets is whatever is in your hand. For example, these paintings are in my hand. Now, paintings have different parts of them. They're going to have the painter right here, the painting period, and then also the genre. So all of those are going to be right here. The genre is up here, painting period, impressionism, and then the artist right here. So these paintings, they don't count if they're in your hand. They have to be in your museum. And they also have to be touching. For example, if I had a purple here and a purple here, that is not a collection. If I put them next to each other, that is a collection. So they can then go all the way. And these are purple. I could also have the collection of apples right here. So eventually you're going to try to set these collections all over your museum, allowing them to touch each other. And that's actually the fun part, is kind of rearranging your paintings so that they're touching different ones and going, all these collections are sprawling out different areas. So let's go through quickly how the game is played. You're going to start off with 5 paintings and a favor card. Those are these right here. Those give you different abilities to use throughout the game. Also, you're going to start off with a trend card. And you actually get 3 trend cards from here, and then you're going to choose one to keep. For example, let's look through here. And you're pretty much going to choose one of these, whichever one you think you have the best chances of putting in your museum. For example, if you have a lot of the purple, you're going to take this one, or if you have actually the 12, you're going to take this. This goes here, and it's going to go right underneath here where no one can see it. And I actually already have one here that's set. I chose the 19 and the painting here because I actually have a couple of those paintings in my hand, and those would be easier to display here in my museum. So let's say I'm first player. Let's go through the turn order. This is so nice. I like acquisition phase. I get to grab 2 paintings from the art market, which is here. And now I exchange a card from my hand to one of these museums in the middle. Now you'll notice these trend cards. These right here are called trend cards. All right, so there's a trend card for every museum. This is what those museums are interested in. For example, right here, the National Gallery of Victoria, this is what they like. Okay, so if I want to get, say I'm going to look for something that goes along my trend here. I want to get me a green. Now, if I were to take a green from this, they actually value the green at 1. So I would have to pay them. The interesting thing about this is these victory points up here, they're also used as currency. So they'll come and they'll go. So if I want to get one from here, they actually value them. So I would have to pay them 1 victory point. However, over here at Victoria, they don't value those at all. So instead, they actually like purple. So what I would actually do is take this one, give it to this museum, they value it, and I would get this one, the romanticism right here, and because they did not value this, they valued this, I would go up 1 point. Okay? So that right there is the acquisition phase. So that keeps these kind of changing. And everyone else gets a chance to do that as well. Then on your action phase, you can choose one of these actions. So it is improve your museum, open a temporary exhibition, perform an inventory. So let's go through those real quick. That is improve your museum, and that is, of course, putting your painting out. For every painting you put out, you have to put one into discard. That's pretty much putting them in the warehouse. So say I would want to put this one out, drop this in discard. And again, I'll put another one of these out, and this goes in discard. And you can do that as many times as you like and as you have the resources to do. You can also play one from someone else's discard, but you would have to give them a victory point and they would give a victory point and you would lose 1. So you could do that as well, and that keeps everything moving. So that is the improve your museum. You could also open a temporary exhibition. And a temporary exhibition is kind of like a one-shot daily art gallery show. So say you've got a lot of, now this is not a collection yet because there's only 2 of them, but say I had 8 of those, right? So I'm saying, you know what? Today we are going to show, I don't really know the terminology of this, but we're going to show these right here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open this up. Right here, portraits, I guess they're called. So portraits, we're going to have a portrait exhibition. I'd take the top one here. This gives me 3 victory points. And then I score that collection according to this. So if I had 6 of them, I would score 5 points. So that would put me up to 8. And then I would take this. I would move my track up from here to 13. Now, I did cross something. I'll get to that in a moment. This right here, I would then take and place it in one of these. This does give me an ability either in end of game or during the game. Now, notice when I moved up the track, I moved past this green marker right here. This green, every time I pass one of those, it then moves up to the next 10, and I get a trend card. Another one of these goes into my hand. So that is temporary exhibition, and you can only do each one first. Someone else could do portraits as well. They get this, but they do not get the victory points. And you can do 6 of those and fill that up. So that is temporary exhibition. Another one is perform an inventory. This is if your hand is getting low, you can grab all the discards from your hand, from your discards, and then put them into your hand. That's a way to refresh if you all of a sudden have different ideas of how to go. One other thing I will cover is there is this trend card that changes every round. Now, I put these out. I didn't score anything from this. But say, this is what the public, the whole world is excited about. Right now, they are excited about these 3 things. That is it. So, say I have, let's see here, I don't have a history, but say I did have this in my hand. And I played that into my gallery. They love that. So I would then go up 2 victory points. Okay? And this is changed every round, so what the world likes changes every round. All right, so that is perform an inventory. You take discards back into your hand, but then you can also draw a favor card and replace the patron cards. All right, so again, this is a favor card right here, and these are patrons. Now, we haven't mentioned these yet. This is finally, after all these actions, there is an optional free action, and that is play 1 favor card or fulfill a patron card. Again, these favor cards are ones we grabbed, like for instance this one. take a painting card from any discard and exhibit it in your museum for free. Or draw 2 cards from the art market. So either one of those I could do, or actually I could fulfill a patron card. So say these are rich people right here that like certain things in museums. So if I had 2 of the number 11 in my museum, I would then say I complete this patron card, and I can either do this, take a painting card, or I could get the 3 victory points. So then he would go over here. And that is it for that. Then end of turn. What I'm going to do here is I check my hand size, make sure I don't have more than 8 painting cards or 3 favorite cards. I check the score and to see if I've crossed the 50 mark. And if I haven't, then that's the end of the round. You replace this public trend because the world is fickle. They're going to like something different now. And then you go forward to the next person. So that is happening every single time. So that happens everywhere. Everyone does that. Now, at the end of the game, the way you calculate these is, of course, the collections we've talked about here. But also, if you cover all your colored areas here with a collection, you're going to get 5 points. If you fill up your entire museum, that's 15. These right here, the more of these you have, the more you get. So if I had 2 of these, it'd be 5, 10, 20. If I have it full, it is 65 points. So it's a different type of points out as far as that goes, putting those into your victory points at the end. So pretty much that is a quick and dirty of how to play Museum Pictura. There's a bit more to it than that, but that's it. And it's very straightforward, but we're going to send it back and see what we thought about it. Okay, so that is how Museum Pictura plays. Pretty much, it's again not all the rules.
No.
It's a quick overview.
Correct.
Just to give you an idea of the flow of the game.
Yes.
All right, overall, component-wise.
Oh, component-wise, I like the quality of the cards. I also really like the size of the cards, too. They're just a good size that makes it easy for you to see across the table. You're not constantly like, what's that card over there? You know, you can see it. It's good. It's clear.
Yeah, and I like that too. It's like you can tell from a distance from someone else's discard pile what they are.
Yes.
The one thing that we mentioned before is everyone's player board.
Yes, that is one of my things that, you know, and I understand why they did this, but that fold in the middle of it, because it's a piece of paper, does get a little annoying when you're trying to lay out cards and they're kind of like sliding everywhere. It's a little frustrating. It's not that big of a deal, but it's a little annoying.
It is, and because you cannot get that fold to go away. I know it was a cost-cutting thing.
Yeah.
If everyone had their own player boards, it would be a lot easier, but they're wanting to make this affordable.
Which I appreciate that, and that's a great, you know, reason to do it. But like I said, you are going to have to deal with that fold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's annoying. And one other thing is these cards are really good quality. They're very thick. And I know, as you know, in the gaming world, we like thicker cards. But I will tell you that the thicker the cards, the harder they are to shuffle. Yeah. There's really, when you shuffle these, they come out in clumps. They just do. Yeah. So it's because they're that thick. And you know what? It's going to extend the life of the cards. So it's probably a give and take type of thing. Yeah. But it does take a lot because there are a lot of cards, number one.
You kind of got to do like piles
You
of them.
really do. You've got to go old school with the shuffle.
Okay.
So anyway, component-wise, I do love it.
Fantastic.
Artwork is fantastic, as you'd expect from a game called Museum. But all right, so but gameplay-wise, this is a set collection game at its core.
Absolutely. And one thing I really like about it is that this card makes it so easy. This is every piece of information is on one card. It's so smooth and easy. You know, you're looking at color, you're looking at the symbol on the right-hand corner, everything like that. That's all you need. And it's just so smooth and just makes it, it's easy to see across the table. All right, that's the card I need. That's the card I need. Oh, I don't need that card. You know, I just really like that. It makes it just enjoyable to do it.
Right, and this game has what Museum had too. I love the set collection game, but it has that extra element of a puzzle game where you get the sets, but then you're like, okay, how am I going to arrange these sets to where this one card could be a part of 2 sets. It has red and it has an apple, so I've got to have it connected to the reds, but also to the apples. But then I have over here, I've got the number, and it's just to get all that going. It's really fun and exciting to see. And then you've got to cover up certain areas because you want to cover up the main hall, and it's just all of that going into it. It's a lot of fun, and it really crescendos in that when you have that set and you're ready to organize your museum.
Oh, So one of the games we played, I needed a purple tree, right? I needed a purple card with a tree on it. And it was a good stress, but it was a little stressful. The whole game, I'm trying to find a purple tree to connect those two sets together. So I could put it in my little, like the core row and everything. Oh, it was a good stress. It worked, it all happened. But like I said, that anxiety of trying to find that particular card it was fun. It made it enjoyable. It wasn't like a bad anxiety. You know how some games give you that anxiety and you're like, this was good.
And the theme on it I love as far as, I mean, it's very thematic as far as people like certain things. They like certain eras, certain painters, and they are going to walk through and look at that, but then they might branch off like, well, I like this too. Yes. And it's just the way that goes into it. Also, rule-wise, this is easier to teach. The player aid makes it very straightforward. You'll be playing within 20 minutes. Oh, maybe 10 minutes.
It's a very easy game to teach.
Right.
And then just to jump into playing. You know, you're not having to spend 30 minutes just trying to figure out how to play it before you can even think about playing a game. One thing I like too is the temporary exhibitions. That added just a next level to the puzzly set collection bit. That was really good too. Like, do you do a temporary exhibition now, or do you wait? Like, how do you do it? I don't want someone else to get it. It makes it really fun. It makes it a really enjoyable set collection game.
It is. It adds that player interaction because you want to do this temporary exhibits later whenever you have more of them ready to see, but then someone else could grab it before you and get the extra 3 points, or they might grab 2 before you and you can't even do it at all. So you've got to balance waiting to getting it done, and then you also have to balance when you put your painting out. You want to get this painting out, but then you also want to do it when the global trend is also showing your paintings, because you've got, and that's one thing I don't really suffer from AP a lot, and well, actually I say that I don't, but most people that suffer from AP don't think they do. I hope I don't.
No. As someone who plays a lot of games from you, I know you don't suffer from AP.
But this one I do, because there's so much going on. You've got your hidden trend here. You've got the global trend. You've got the trend on every museum. But it's a fun type of, I mean, anything is going to work, but how do I maximize this card to get me the most points? Because you're only going to 50 points.
Yes.
That's it.
This game moves very quickly.
Very quickly.
Very quickly. And I think that makes it the perfect length because it's a quick game.
It is. And because for me, a game needs to feel a bit too short.
Yeah.
Because if it feels a bit too long, that's far worse than a bit too short.
Yes.
You kind of leave thinking, oh man, I wish it was a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And then you can just run it back. You know, you can do it again. But if it's a bit too long, you're like, we got to cut something out. This one hits that spot where every time we've played this and the end game has been triggered, I've always thought, I was just there.
Yes.
You know?
One more turn and I would have been fine.
Yes.
Yes. Which, in my opinion, that's what makes a good game. When you're like, I wish I had one more turn, like, rather than, I'm so glad this game is over.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And it's just, and you get to say fun things like, how you like them apples? Throw it down the player. Yeah. So anyway, all of this, all said and done, I love Museum. I love this game.
This game I can see coming out a lot more because, like I said, it's easy to teach and it's quick. So I think will come out a lot more than Museum. I personally lean more towards Museum because I'm an Egyptology nerd, so I like the history a little bit better.
Right.
But I can see this one being played more.
I can too, because Museum is such a big box. They have all those expansions, the depth and all that.
Yeah.
This one, you grab a box, you throw it down, and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
And so, although I don't know which one I lean between Museum and Museum Pictura, but I will say this probably will hit the table more.
Oh, absolutely. This is just a fantastic game. And it's a standalone game in its own right. I love that.
Yeah, so exactly. All right, so give me a number on your Museum Pictura.
I'm going to give it a 8.
No. 8. All right. See, I rank a little bit lower at 7.5.
Okay.
But the A, I can see that too, because it is, if you like set collection, this adds that extra element, almost feels like a polyomino type thing, right? Yeah. The puzzle style thing, and that only happens at the end. So it's really fun seeing everyone arranging their museums, and it's and it's quick to hit the table. Yeah. It's quick to learn, it's quick to reset.
Yeah.
So all of this leans towards this just being a fantastic game.
And the reason I give it more of an 8 over a 7.5 is I just like how smooth that gameplay is. Everything in this game works.
It does.
And I really, really like that.
So if you are somebody that likes museum and you probably passed this over and you've overlooked it like we did, or you don't even know anything about the museum ecosystem, it's even better because this is a brand new style game.
Yeah.
Give this a try. It's by Holy Grail Games and it's Museum Pictura.
Great game.
Show it again?
Oh yeah, I will. I'd love to. Bam! Look at that.
Right on cue. It's like we're in sync.
Hey.
Finish each other's?
Sentences.
I was going to say sandwiches.
I know I was going to say sandwiches too, but I was like, maybe I should say sentences because it feels more adult.
No, the time's gone now.
Okay.
All right. Hey, thanks guys for joining us for the Dice Tower review.
Thanks.
All right,
bye.
bye.